Alright guys, so good morning in India, and here it's almost evening. I'm reporting live from Sydney, Australia, just in front of Sydney Opera House. It's a beautiful location for sure. It's a little cloudy today. It's winter here in Australia, and but that doesn't stop us from riding motorcycles, does it? Now, as you know, down below I've written that the main question is that when is the BMW G310R coming to India? So we all know that it's already, it's made in India. It's made by TVS in India, and yet they haven't launched it in India. I mean, they're launching it in, I think, Malaysia. They've launched it in here in Australia. They've launched it, I think, in US. But why haven't they launched the 310R in India? Never mind, I don't know the answer to the question. Perhaps you know, somebody knows. But here, let me show you where I am with this beautiful motorcycle. There's the Sydney Opera House, and here's the made in India BMW G310R. And let me tell you up front, it actually looks quite beautiful, and it's nothing to do with the location, trust me. The bike really looks beautiful, and although it's small, it doesn't look like a 300cc motorcycle, especially with the exhaust. The exhaust is actually quite big. I don't know if you can figure out from this angle, but it's quite big. And this bike, which is made in India, is reeks of quality. I mean, I don't know if you can figure out from here, but even the switch gear, the paint work, everything is actually top notch. And I hope they retain the same quality when they are actually selling this in India. Now, the main question which I initially, started with is when this is coming to India. I don't know, but let's have a look at a few comparisons which it draws, obviously, with the Duke 390, which is its closest competitor right now. More so because that is also made in India. Now, Duke 390 is sold in Delhi ex-showroom for 2.25 lakhs, and this bike, the BMW, should come for around 2 for it to make any kind of impact in its sales. For me personally, I think this badge is what makes the whole difference to the bike. It has a few styling cues from the Apache RTR, especially from up front, but that doesn't mean anything because, number one, it's obviously made by TVS, and this is a BMW, and this is the first BMW to be made outside of Germany, so that it's even more special. Now, the decision why they took to make this bike out of out of Germany is, number one, that India is an emerging market. I mean, a lot of scope for selling these kind of motorcycles over there, and the other is obviously the economies of scale, and it will cost much lesser than what it will cost to make it in Germany. So going on to other things which I can probably talk about is, let's talk about the specs. So this bike is around 158 wet, and the Duke 390, I think, is around 160. It's a little bit heavier than this, but that actually doesn't matter. Coming to the power, this is a 310. The Duke 390 is 390, but this one is 10 bhp lesser than the Duke 390. Now that obviously it will make a lot of difference. And the torque, this has a little lesser torque. I think this has 20 Nm, and the Duke has around 28 or 30. I don't remember from top of my head. What else? In terms of dimensions, I think this bike will be suited a little better for riders which are a little less in height, because the saddle height is a little lesser than the Duke 390. Rest everything, I mean, in India, as you know, the Duke 390 comes with Metzela's. Here it's shot with the Michelin. So I hope they have quality tires, when they're selling this bike in India. And I just rode it for 250 kilometers today. I took it into the mountains and everything, and the handling is absolutely superb. So, thank you so much, Vishnu, for correcting me. 28 Nm on this and 37 Nm on Duke. I don't remember all the figures on top of my head. And the other things which probably you might want to know is, let's have a look at the console. So it's a very no frills basic console, LCD console. It's nothing like what you have on the Duke, the new Duke 390. I mean, that is full color TFT, but this one is more towards the previous generation Duke 390 if you just want to compare. It's got very basic stuff. I mean, it will give you information about, it doesn't give you ambient temperature, and definitely does not connect with Bluetooth as the new Duke 390 does, and it also does not have LED headlamps. Now for me, I think this bike, initially I was first time when I saw it, I think at Intermot, I was skeptical about it, but after riding it, the ride quality is come across to be absolutely stunning, especially the handling. I mean, I'm literally blown away. If BMW decides to launch something like the RC390 with this, I think it should be an amazing proposition, especially for India and for budding racers and riders. But for the time being, as we all know, we are waiting for this bike to actually hit the Indian shores. I mean, it's already in India. It's like just waiting to be released from the prison shackles. And then obviously we are also waiting for the GS310, which is the adventure motorcycle version of this. And I don't know when that will come, because even this is yet to come to India. And that's about it from this beautiful location in Sydney, Australia. We'll get you more photos and the review of the G310R. Till then, ride safe all of you, and take care.